What are the different types of captive insurance companies? My name is Hale Stewart. I have a master's in domestic and international taxation from the Thomas Jefferson School of Law, where I also graduated magna cum laude. I'm also a chartered estate planner, chartered wealth manager, and chartered asset manager from the American Academy of Financial Management. All the information in this presentation is from a book I wrote called U.S. Captive Insurance Law. There's a link to purchase that book on this website if you'd like to do so. Now finally, my number is 832-330-4101. Please call me if you have any questions after the presentation. Now I'm going to take you through the three most popular types of captive structures, beginning with a pure captive. A pure captive insures risks of its parent and affiliated companies or controlled unaffiliated businesses. Now, let's suppose you have a manufacturing company that's vertically integrated, and for some reason you also own a restaurant. Under this definition, you could insure all those entities through a pure captive. However, some states do not allow the pure captive to insure unaffiliated businesses. In that situation, the restaurant couldn't purchase insurance from the captive. Now, let's take a look and see what this looks like on the right-hand side of the screen. The parent company pays a premium to a captive insurance company, who in turn provides insurance to the parent company. Now notice that the parent company owns the captive. In other words, this looks just like a standard insurance transaction. Now let's move on to an association captive. This definition is from the South Carolina statute. Notice a few things. An association is a group of business entities, political subdivisions, or individuals who have been associated for at least a year. Now notice that basically anybody can join the association, but the association has to have been around for at least a year. Now, under the definition, there are two ways to define this. Under A, it deals with voting. All the people own, control, or hold with power to vote all the outstanding voting securities, or they have complete voting control over an association captive insurance company organized as a mutual insurer. Again, in A, all the members of the organization of the association own the captive. Under B, they're the only subscribers of the insurance, the member organizations of which collectively constitute all of the subscribers. So basically, as we'll see in the next diagram, what we have here is a captive insurance company with three companies. The companies either own all the outstanding shares or they're the only people who purchase insurance. And the key here is that all companies belong to the same association. Now, let's turn our attention to risk retention groups. RRGs started in the 1980s, specifically in 1981 when Congress first passed the law establishing these. Congress passed these because of then a products liability insurance crisis. In 1986, they expanded the definition largely for doctors. Now, a risk retention group is any corporation or other limited liability association. It's organized for the primary activity of assuming and spreading all or any portion of the liability exposure of its group members. Short version, and some type of limited liability organization is formed to absorb risk. That's an insurance company. Now, all the members are engaged in businesses or activities similar or related with respect to the liability to which such members are exposed by virtue of any related, similar, or common business, trade, product, services, premises, or operations. It's quite the mouthful. What they're really saying there is everybody's got something in common, something that links them. For example, a group of doctors. Now, members cannot be excluded solely to provide members of the RRG a competitive advantage over the excluded person or company. Now, the group has as its owners only persons who comprise the membership of the RRG and who are provided insurance by the group, or has as its sole owner an organization which has its members only persons who comprise members of the RRG and its owners only persons who comprise members of the RRG. Notice that this looks an awful lot like an association captive. Basically, an RRG is an association captive organized under federal law. And that's why when we look at the picture of an RRG, it's basically the exact same picture as an association captive. If you have any questions after seeing this presentation, please call me. My number is 832-330-4101. Thank you for your attention.